Hey guys, Tolerant here, and with the release of the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta, approximately 9 days ago at the time of recording this video, I think we need to talk about what 343 will do for the multiplayer PvE in this game. In 4, we had Spartan Ops, in 5, we had Warzone and Warzone Firefight, and in Halo Reach, we had Firefight, as well as Halo 3 ODST had Firefight. And so far, they've always tried to change it up, going from Firefight to Spartan Ops to Warzone/Warzone Firefight, but some of these were very big misses in the community, and I don't want another big miss, especially with the rocky start that the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta has been receiving, mostly due to the way it has been monetizing the store. But there's also been a lot of concerns with the progression system, and a lot of people have been complaining about other things such as the melee collision, some weapons being very underpowered, some being very overpowered. If they hit this beat right with the PvE multiplayer, I think we're going to be in a real good place. Some people would just suggest Firefight. And this video really won't be suggesting what we should do. This one will be suggesting what we shouldn't do. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and come back every Friday for even more of it. Halo 4 is actually my favorite Halo game, and I have spent a lot of hours in it. I actually played the PvP all the way to almost max level, max rank, went through all the specializations. I absolutely loved the system that they had there. I originally didn't have an Xbox 360 because of how poor my family was, and I got the special Halo 4 edition Xbox and began playing day one. Loved everything about it. Then came Spartan Ops, which was a big miss. Even I, looking through rose-tinted glasses, didn't like Spartan Ops in the slightest. I made it through, say, episode 1, maybe 2, and never went back and touched it. Recently, as I've been going through MCC and getting a lot of the achievements, especially the harder ones, in preparation for Halo Infinite's multiplayer coming out, and then Halo Infinite's campaign, I went back through and got the Smooth Operator achievement, and that's where a lot of these criticisms that I've discovered are going to be lying. With Spartan Ops replacing Firefight, it had big shoes to fill, but it did not size up as much as we wanted it to. They were way too long. The objectives were quite literally just fetch quests, or just go and press a button, fight some enemies, press a button, fight some enemies. No good story beats. They had these little videos at the very beginning and at the very end, these cutscenes. Those were pretty good, but definitely didn't justify the what would be probably like 20-30 minute missions, 5 in a row, and then you get some more story, then 5 in a row and you get some more story. It was a big miss, especially for me, who loves the story and even loves a lot of the side story. Like, I've watched Nightfall, I've watched Forward Unto Dawn, I want to read some of the books eventually, but all of this was a massive miss. The story that they'd added in, which is canon, was not worth how boring this gameplay was, and how they just reused maps from the multiplayer, from the campaign, and later episodes of Spartan Ops. They just reused actual maps from the previous episodes of Spartan Ops, making it even more monotonous and boring, because now you were trekking through maps that you had just trekked through, say, 5 episodes ago. Very boring, very bad. I don't know why they did it this way. It did not seem like a passion project in the slightest. I think that they really should have taken a lot more time and dedication into this, or just given us Firefight using some of the Forge engines or something of that nature, because this was a major miss for the community. In the game itself, that also doesn't even function well. There were horrible enemy spawns almost all the time. The Prometheans warping in, that's understandable, but they would also just warp in directly on top of you. They would warp in and you'd be stabbed and instantly killed by a knight. They would warp in and you'd instantly get shredded by some crawlers. Big annoying part of the entire experience. And then sometimes with the Covenant spawns, they would just drop them directly on top of you, whether or not it made sense or not. Sometimes they would just fall through the ceiling because that they were just hoping you weren't looking at that time, and suddenly you're watching enemies just phase through the ceiling above you. It was boring. It was bad spawns. It was bad gameplay. It was unbalanced. There was the achievement, like I said, Smooth Operator is the reason why I went back through. And with the introduction of Spartan Ops, the Halo MCC, you'd think that they would attempt to make it a little bit better, but they actually gave us an achievement that went against everything that made Spartan Ops at least tolerable, which was playing it multiplayer with your friends. That made it somewhat tolerable. You could all enjoy it together. It was kind of less less annoying, but they'd already had a theme of the Lone Wolf achievement, a monument to all you my sins, which is going through these things legendary by yourself, which in many of the games and many of the campaigns is a big accomplishment because there is a large difficulty factor with you playing by yourself on legendary. Smooth Operator forces you to play all 10 episodes, 5 chapters each, on legendary difficulty solo. Now the big problem with that is it is boring. It is long. I would say 2 of these episodes is almost the equivalent of a full campaign, and not even remotely the same amount of story or cutscenes or character development or you caring, really. One of the missions, or one of the episodes, my editor will put it up here as to which one I'm talking about right now, has you going through the UNSC Infinity that has been boarded by the enemies, by Prometheans and by the Covenant. And it is the stupidest mission I've ever seen. They don't even try to make any logical sense. They have you running back and forth. You're closing a hangar bay. I was actually yelling about this on stream when I was doing this on stream. They have you, it's like the 400 something odds hangar bay, and they have your Spartan team doing everything in your power to close this one hangar bay, as if this isn't one of hundreds upon hundreds of hangar bays that are being assaulted at the same time. And then they have you go and fix the engines, which have been set with nukes. This will get rid of the entire UNSC Infinity, blow it to Kingdom Come, and they just send you, just your Spartan team. Apparently every other Spartan team was busy and couldn't help, and then after that they send you back to the hangar bay. And while you're in the hangar bay the very first time, whenever they're like, hey, we have something important in the engine room, they're gonna blow it to smithereens, they actually have you tell the person to basically wait, you need to seal this hangar, which you really don't. There's hundreds upon hundreds of other hangars that are being assaulted right now. This one is not as important as the entire UNSC Infinity going up in flames. It was the stupidest mission. There's a mission, part of that mission where you defend the engine room as you're trying to locate the cloaked nukes that they've put everywhere. But at that's the one especially where they'll just spawn enemies in the ceiling above you and have them phase through the floor, through the actual environment, and land on top of you. You'll die, of course, because a bunch of elites just dropped on you on legendary, and it'll spawn you on the other side of the room and you have to walk back. They didn't even design another part of the level. They just killed you because you were in the part of the level they wanted to respawn enemies in. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. I hope that they don't go anywhere near this direction for Halo Infinite, and that they do something original, or just give us Firefight. Just give us Firefight and we will be fine. Everyone loves Firefight. With that said, in another video I will be talking about Halo 5 Warzone and Halo 5 Warzone Firefight and Mythic Warzone Firefight, as I actually have a lot of experience in those. Getting an SR rank 142. Tried to hit 152, but it's too ridiculous, which I will be talking about it in that as well, with just going over how it seems 343 has been screwing up progression systems a lot recently. But that's a video for another time. So thank you so much if you're still here. Make sure you like and subscribe and come back. I've been very sick, so I'm sorry if this commentary sounds really bad. I'm pretty sure my editor would have put a disclaimer at the very beginning of how sick I sound. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you next time.